3 Letterman. What happened to you? 95.7%. Man, you gotta get your meat riding down. You gotta get your meat riding down. And I will give you credit on Twerk's resurgence, though. I will give you credit on that. I saw rumors this may be your last year in battle rap, man. Last year in battle rap. That's crazy. Good riddance, my nigga. Good fucking riddance. Cause I'm about tired of your ass anyway. Nigga, ain't gonna be no swan song, nigga. You ain't going. Ain't no birthday cakes cause you leave and all that.
Now I say if you want to kill yourself, don't fuck around with it. Go on and do it expeditiously. Now go on and jump. Jump!
No, I don't want to kill myself, sir.
Boy, ain't no motherfucking way, boy. Ain't no motherfucking way. Your ass drove 2 hours for a catfish, my nigga. You drove 2 hours to meet a chick you met in Spaces on Twitter, and she was a motherfucking catfish.
Let me tell you something, my boy. Quit chasing pussy and get some money. Get you some money, boy.
You had a couple snacks in your car, a couple fruit roll-ups, and some Capri Suns. Yo, what up, man? Chris, I'm out checking back in, man. Back with a vlog, man. Make sure that like button and subscribe button your way, and I appreciate all the support, man. It's been a wild week, man. It has been an interesting 7 days for Chris. I'm going to take you into the world of Chris Unbiased these last 7 days. I knew I was taking a risk doing a meat ride blog. I don't necessarily mind doing blogs like this because, like I said, I don't really be rocking with a lot of these battles anyway. And at the end of the day, if you on a meat ride list, you on a meat ride list. The Collateral stuff that has went on since then, I didn't really expect. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of Collateral. I'm going to go through some of it already. And there's definitely a movement to try to get Unbiased out of here. It is definitely a real thing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that. But real quick before I get into that, man, I watched Jay Moore versus Bonus. That battle dropped on Chrome 23, I think. That was a Trenches battle. I know he was in the Crucible and everything with URL. Be on the lookout for Jay Moore. Like, he's definitely nice, man. That battle with Bonus is really, really good. I didn't catch it when it first happened on the stream or whatever. I think I caught the stream late, but that battle was nice. Jay Moore was snapping in that battle. So shout out to him. I didn't know much about Jay Moore. I just knew that him and Ace Amin had like a little issue or something. Other than that, I didn't really know a whole lot about him. He's definitely been doing this thing. I'm going to talk about, there's a lot of battles coming up. You got the QB and Rex battle for her league. Shout out to her. You got Queen of the Ring. They got an event coming up. You got a Black Ice event that's really, really big that's coming up. You got the UW event that is coming up. You got the 2-on-2 McMyron, Clean Paper, Loso, A-Ward. There is some battle rap coming up. You know what I'm saying? I even heard rumors of a potential RBE event coming up soon. So there are things that I'm hearing on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the super, super big Gnomes and Summer Madnesses or whatever. Chrome 23 is still kind of quiet. I don't really know what's going on with them. So, but I'm gonna get into like more of the battle rap blogs after this. I just want to do this blog and say this. It's been interesting, man. One of the funniest things that I've noticed is, to the outside looking in, you might think it's a lot of people that don't fuck with Chris Unbiased, but there's so much like private support and public neutralness. And me personally, I don't necessarily respect it, but I'm always noticing it. Like, I could go through my DMs and literally show you niggas that was like, yo, that meat ride blog was crazy. They would never, ever type it on the timeline, though. I know there's a lot of connections in battle rap. So if somebody that they fuck with is on a list, they don't want to make it seem like you're co-signing a meat ride blog and their mans is on it. So I do understand that. But that's not been the only, it's not just a meat ride blog. It's everything I do in battle rap. People behind the scenes will be like, yo, that's a dope Untold Truth. That's a dope sit down. That's a dope this. There's a lot of private support and public neutralness. And I get it. You don't want to appear that you watch a Chris Mbias blog. I get it. It's corny, but I get it. It's been a lot of things there's a lot of things in the works that y'all don't know about. It's a lot. Like, there's a lot of people that's trying to interview people, part of my case. That's kind of how you know that this case is never about innocence or guilt. Like, I almost feel like people don't even really care what really happened in the case. It's like either they want me to have a trial and win it, so I had to be over with that way, or they want me to go to jail. One of the two. It's the details of the case or anything. Like, what would be the purpose of interviewing someone from the case? What would that prove? I'm just asking logically. What would that prove? Because if I interview someone from the case, I would expect them to say the same thing they said in 2017 when the case first happened now. Because if you don't, what you think I'm gonna do? What do you think I'm gonna do to that blog? I'm gonna chop that shit up, send that shit to my lawyer, and he gonna go crazy on it. So I expect you to stay very, very much in tune with what you said before. So then that brings you back to square one, because you're saying one thing, I said something totally different. You still technically don't really know what happened.
I'm gonna be real, China. Yeah. I got some information, right, that I'm going to let out. I'm gonna wait till he shoot back. If he say anything back, I got the witness, right? I got the person that he actually did. I'm going to put her on, nigga.
Like, they always tell you, don't ever talk about the case without the presence of a lawyer. So what do you think a district attorney would be like? Oh, they actually did an interview with a battle rap blogger. You know how detrimental that is to anybody that has a lawyer? Like someone like myself who has an actual lawyer, you know, the legal system is so funny with your wording and how you say certain stuff. Like everything that you say, it can be flipped. It can be turned upside down. It was one of the reasons why my lawyer always tell me don't ever talk about the case. Sometimes I touch on stuff here and there, but I never really have just spoken out completely about everything. And that's because once it goes on YouTube and gets chopped up and down, all this kind of stuff, it's like those things can be used against you. So if you were technically worried about the case, it wouldn't even be smart for you to even want to do anything like that, because technically you don't really know enough about the case to conduct a real interview. So all you want to do is just ask a bunch of questions, but some questions lead to other questions, which lead to somebody saying something that they probably shouldn't have said that didn't coincide with what they said in 2017. And then that's how they get burnt. So that's first and foremost, but that is definitely a real thing that's going on behind the scenes. And don't be surprised if it pops up in the next week or two. Do not be surprised if it it's there to the point where they're being bribed, bro. Being literally bribed. That's how far these niggas are going. I told you about the other blogs and stuff, the Angry Fan stuff with 3 Letterman and all that. I didn't really expect so much of that to go on. So it's been a lot of that blog blew up more because the people that was in the blog started being mad at the people that was reacting to the blog. So you got Black Compass Polo. He's upset with the Battle Fanatic Polo because the Battle Fanatic Polo did a reaction to it. And in reacting to it, he wants to start talking about his wife and all kind of stuff. And then they want to get on Vada's helmet because Vada did a blog about it. And then they want to get on this it's a trickle down effect of them being bothered and upset by people that actually reacted to the blog. Now, I don't really know when you put the Meat Ride blog out that that's necessarily going to happen. I don't know that all of these collateral things are going to happen to it. I figured I'll put the blog out. Everybody that's on the list to be mad, they'll respond. We'll laugh and joke. And in a couple of days, it'll be over with. This shit has actually snowballed, though. Do you know that they actually want Tasha K to look into this case? Like, what is that supposed to do? Like, what is that supposed to do? She said Mav was a rapist. That's what she called Mav. Like, she was on Mav helmet very, very much. She was on, obviously she was in Easy's business or whatever. So I'm the next person that's like, oh, why don't you pick up the Chris Unbiased thing and talk about it on your platform? And it's just like, when you can't necessarily get battle rap to kind of turn on Chris Unbiased, you try to change the perception through other avenues. So when you look at someone like a DME Detroit and A-Dep, a Battle Truth, they're too low on a totem pole to have any real impact in this culture. So they have to team up and talk about shit over and over and over again to try to grow at some legs, because on their own, they don't really have enough power or respect in battle rap. So then they try to be like, oh, let's see if we can feed Tasha Cadis and get her to pick up the story. And then they try to grow at legs like that. Bro, I'm listening to an interview just on some hunt. This shit was about Birdman. And Wack 100 brings me up, bro. This is how deep these niggas are going. This is the crazy shit.
If a nigga been hitting me every fucking day, I just told a nigga, you run the shit. Fuck you sending it to me for. Some nigga keep sending me some shit. What is this shit? Some nigga name. Nigga, man, I don't know this nigga. Seem like you got a problem with this nigga. Damn. You running some nigga named Chris Unbiased or some shit. Some nigga in the battle rap, bro. I don't know the nigga, bro. I see the nigga got some shit. You run it. Yeah, I don't know the nigga.
None of these things actually affect the case, good or bad. It's just a constant reminder of how much people are. This whole culture talks about like realness and not being a snitch and not being a rat. People are so police. They'll put your family, they'll look you up, they'll do this, they'll put your phone number online, your address online, they'll do all kind of stuff. And I'd be like, what part of that was being a real nigga? Like literally, like just for the sake of trying to either take down someone or go to war with someone, you really completely lost all your morals. Like literally lost all your morals. It's actually probably going to affect me doing sit downs too, because I was supposed to do a sit down with Ryder. Shout out to Ryder, right? So I put out that blog about D.I. the Henny Man and how he fucked up the audio situation. And I thought it was a bad look to put the audio out. Right now, we don't know what's up with Chrome 23. We don't really know what's up with them. Chrome 23 could be gone. So if I ask you this, was putting out the audio on Easy worth Chrome 23 leaving battle rap? Because that could have been the straw that broke the camel's back if there isn't another Chrome 23 event. If Chrome only does, even if there is another Chrome 23 event, but there's only one or two more and she's out of here in 2024, along with ARP, it's like, was all of that even worth it? And the answer is no. You look at Easy, Easy's still way bigger than Henny Man and still doing this thing. So it's not like we're going to stop watching Easy because you put some audio out on them. So that's why I say at the end of the day, the audio kind of was useless to do because it's too much collateral damage. You got the Easy shit. You got the Rim shit. You got the fact that they have a family. It lives online. Pap isn't talking about the situation, but he's being forced to ask questions because audio is being forced to put out. So when you look at all of that, you got to have a real dislike for someone to go that far. And I just don't feel like their relationship was that. So back to Ryder. So I was talking to Ryder probably about a month ago about doing a sit down, but we couldn't really link up with the schedule. Now, you know, Ryder was leaving URL, had a lot to say about P, did a battle about P and spoke a lot of stuff about P.
But y'all hired this nigga thinking he'll do better than what Norbs did. And this nigga doing the same shit that Norbs did. I mean, I want to see y'all do good, my nigga, and run up checks. But remember this conversation when he got you frustrated and upset. Because there's still a lot of stages you ain't touched yet. And the only difference between you and Norbs is a nigga ain't fucked you up yet. I tried to tell him.
This just how much of a real nigga I am, bro. Before I put the audio, before I did the Henny blog, I'm looking at a flyer and Ryder and Henny Man are doing a 2-on-2 with Danny Myers and some other dude. And I told myself, if I put this blog out, Henny Man is going to drop while he's on his way to the 2-on-2. And they'll probably talk about it on their way riding back from the 2-on-2. And I said, Henny Man is probably going to be on his F unbiased shit. And Ryder is going to feel probably disinterested in doing an interview now because he's running rock with Henny Man. They just did a 2-on-2 together and he's part of the Maryland movement. So I was like, even though I don't have an issue with Ryder and Ryder wanted to do the interview, I bet if I hit Ryder up now, he'll probably not want to do the interview. It kind of reminds me of the Norb's Untold Truth. I got a relationship with Beasley, and I'm just like, if I put the interview out, the relationship with Beasley is probably not going to be what it is. But I still put it out anyway, and I still put the Henny Man out, even though I may not be able to interview no DMV niggas, bro. Swervo, Ryder, like any DMV person that I thought about interviewing. So that's why I said I realized a long time ago that who I am in battle rap, I'm not going to be able to get the interviews because I'm really too raw. Like I just don't, Like they got me in a mode to where I don't really care about things I say, but I ain't gonna jump out the window on niggas. Like stuff I put in these blogs, I can show receipts on how niggas is being jealous, how niggas is hating on Easy, how niggas is doing this and doing that, and how you was supposed to, you let Bill Collector, you let Verb tell you that RBE, that URL is whack, so you cancel your contract. You let Surf tell you that RBE is a KFC, so you cancel your contract. Like, I can go through all of that stuff. You were supposed to do a battle deal with ARP. You turned it down. You went over to the Beasley. Like, I can go through all of those things. So I'm not making up things on you, but I know when I hit that public button, the relationships change. And there's very few people in this culture that'll actually do that. So you have to get to a point where you just don't give a fuck. And that's kind of where I am. Like, I learned a long time ago, I'm not going to be the guy that's just like getting untold truths and all this kind of stuff like I used to. Like, I just knew that, because it's just so, like, it's too much ass kissing, bro. When it became so cliquish in battle rap and people became cliquish, it was like, you got to be cool with everybody in order to get the thing. Could you imagine right now if Briz was still part of Cave Gang, like, and I'm trying to interview Tay-Rock, but I'm also burning Briz down about why he won't battle Mook? Tay-Rock's not going to want to interview me. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, bro. If you killing Twerk, Ace Amin don't want to interview you. They cool, they tight, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? One of my issues with Twerk is not even about Twerk. Like, me and Twerk don't get it. Started with Anwar, but I didn't know Twerk was managing Anwar, so I had an issue with Anwar, and then it kind of snowballed to where Twerk had to pick sides. So when it comes to picking sides, I'm never gonna be the person they pick. Like, I'm more of the lower hanging fruit. Everybody want to be cool. Everybody want to be buddy. It takes a lot, man, to really stand out and be indifferent. It takes a lot to stand out and be on your own. You know what I'm saying? And do this. You think I got a cool relationship with P. I still put URL on the stock drop list. I realized putting them on the stock drop list could ruin my P relationship. I realized that. I still put them on the list, though. Bro, this is what I got to deal with, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got to deal with Wack 100, Tasha K, multiple bloggers, niggas want to interview people. I mean, well, what does that do? Well, what do you expect someone in the case to say in an interview? Something different than what they said before? All right, okay, they said Chris attacked her. It didn't happen, but that's what they said. So what do you expect them to do in an interview? Say that they made it up? No, they're going to get killed. They're probably going to get arrested, knowing me. So, no, they're going to keep the same energy, and I'm going to keep the same energy. So I don't, bro, this 7 days, bro, just my messages. When people hit me up and be like, yo, I can only imagine what your messages are, I can only imagine too, bro. Like, this shit is so crazy. Can I ask y'all some common sense stuff? Before I get out, let me ask you some common sense stuff. I was arrested. I got out of jail in 2019. That was 5 years ago. 5 years, okay? When I got out of jail, I had an ankle monitor on. Okay, boom. They took the ankle monitor off in like 8 months. I didn't even ask for them to take it off. I just asked, could I move around more? And they said, you don't even need it. So they literally volunteered to take it off. Then I used to have to come to the courthouse every week and say, I'm present and accounted for. They had to literally put their face on me. They said we don't have to do that no more. So I don't do that no more either. So I move around. I went to Mexico. I do this. I do that. I do this. I do that. I do this. I do that. These people will tell you so much crazy stuff about me. So many crazy this, about whatever. They embellish stuff. They say everything. Look, we can just start with the paperwork. If the paperwork was actually true, they invested everything in the paper. They investigated all that paperwork. So they investigated. If everything they thought in the paperwork is true, they could have always took me to trial. They didn't. They didn't. I've been out 5 years. Nothing's happened. Literally, it'd be killing me when people be like, breaking news. Nothing's happened in this case in 5 years. They really just stopped moving it forward. Nothing has happened. So I was out 5 years. I've been out for 5 years. 18 months of the 5 years was, you can charge it up to the pandemic. The other 3.5 years, court has been moving just fine, and no one has even bothered Chris Unbiased. So when you see breaking news, how is it breaking news if I'm never going to court and nothing's ever happening? Nothing's happened. Nothing in my life has changed from literally 2019 and now, except for a lift of hella restrictions. That's all they did. So if I asked you if the paperwork was so ironclad, meaning that what they said in the paperwork, they have been proven and they feel comfortable with happening, why are all these restrictions being lifted? That's a common sense question. It's a common sense question. People cannot answer that question. When you get to the answer of that question, you will figure out this puzzle. All you got to do is use common sense, man. Stop believing everything you read. If they believed everything that was on the case, they wouldn't give me so much freedom. Sometimes you just have to use common sense. Another thing, you have to use common sense. The police are notorious for making paperwork look worse. Their goal is to drum up the case, make it look worse than what it is, try to prevent you from getting bond, all that kind of stuff. Another thing that people like to be like, oh, Chris unbiased. It said they found 5 butt plugs in your attic. Bro, it was 2 sex toys. That's all it is. I mean, what, they had a buy one, get 4 free? Why the fuck would I have 5 butt plugs? It's just 2 sex toys, bro. That's it. They just drum up stuff. Do you realize in this case that they said, nobody in this case said I ever pulled a gun out on anybody or even showed a gun at all that night. Nobody has ever said that. But why is there a gun in my paperwork? Like, they literally in my paperwork we found a loaded handgun. Why? It's not part of the case. But if you put all of these things in the case, it makes it, what do you know how that sounds to a judge that's trying to give you bond? Oh, Your Honor, we found 5 butt plugs, a loaded handgun, some brass knuckles. What else we found? We found some nunchucks. Like, I could have took a karate class. I mean, I'm just making this stuff up. They ain't find all this stuff. But these are the things that they say in court. And then you're asking a judge, hello, sir, can you please give me a bond? Look at all the crazy shit he just heard. This is what they do. If you ever been a part of the legal system, this is what they do. People that's a part of the legal system act like they don't know this. Act like they don't know this. So I don't know. I expect something big to happen in the next couple of weeks as far as like to try to like expose unbiased. I expect something. Be on the lookout. It might be in the next couple of days. No, this week right here. Fuck next week. This week right here. And all of this boils down to, bro, jealous. People do not understand how I came back in a battle rap and became a big blogger. They don't understand it. Think about that for a second. There are more people upset about the list that's not even on the list.
I know damn well you lying. You need to go back in the house with that.
Got 50,000 views, bro. They're like, how the fuck can Chris get all these views in battle rap? Y'all not even supposed to be fucking with this nigga. They're literally jealous, and the jealousness has created all of this.
Chris, bias. Man, subscribe to the channel, man. Don't be a hater your whole life. Chris, bias.